Microsoft Dynamics NAV is a role-tailored application. And this means that the most important information, functions and actions for you on a daily basis are promoted in a role center. And we have many different role centers based on different job roles, like the business manager, the accountant, the sales order processor, and so on. Now let's have a look at the main features and then also at the role center that we can use in the web client and in the Windows client. So like I just said, the role center, it's a central point for all information and actions based on your job role. It's like a sort of a personal homepage that you can set up in NAV. And there are many different parts that we can use. So there's the activities part, we have charts, there's my notifications, lists, and so on. And also here you will see some minor differences between the role center in the web client and in the Windows client. So that's why let's look at an example in both clients. And let's start with the web client. So here, which are the different components that we can see in the web client? Well, first of all, there's the role center ribbon. And because I'm using the Business Manager Role Center, this contains the most important functions and actions based on my job role. So as a business manager, I need to be able to create sales and purchase documents very quickly, but also process payments. I need to enter company settings and so on. Then there's the Role Center navigation pane, only containing 3 different items in this case. And we have here the actions. So here you can see the different queues, and in the module on personalization we have a more detailed look at these queues and on how to personalize them. But again, the queues, they will show my KPIs, so my the most important information that as a business manager I'm using on a daily basis. And for example, one of the things is the sales this month. So here I can very quickly click on the queue and the system will show me a list of all the sales of this month. You see, so as a business manager, this is very important for me. I can go, for example, to the overdue sales invoice amount. So if I want to see which sales invoices are overdue, I can simply click on the queue and there you go. So these are all the individual sales invoices that I can use now to create reminders for. Then, besides the queues, another thing that we can see here is a chart. In this case, we can see the top 5 customers by sales value. So you can see the names of the customer represented by a specific color. And by clicking on one of the pies, I can very simply go to the customer entries. So here you can see a customer list, and from there on, I can go to the customer entries of one of these customers. Then there are a number of queues that I can very easily use to enter a new sales quote, a sales order, and a sales invoice. So suppose that for one of my customers I need to create a sales quote. So the quickest way to do this is by just clicking here on this queue. And as you can see now, the system will create now a new sales document and I can start entering customer information. If we scroll down, you can see here a number of self-service queues, so quite a lot of queues presented in this role center. But I can also make lists, such as the list of my favorite accounts, so the GL accounts that I'm using most frequently, a cash account, a bank account, and so on. And if I scroll down, there's also the trial balance that I can use, and there's a report inbox. And here in trial balance, you can see that you can very easily switch from one to the other period, or that you can also switch or enter specific reports by clicking on the financial statements action in the ribbon. So for example, if I want to look at an income statement, I can very easily enter a starting date and an ending date and then preview the report. So as you can see, this is an example of the role center in the web client, and it offers me all the important information and all the important actions that I'm using on a daily basis as a business manager. And we can see the same in the Windows client. So also here in the Windows client, I'm using the Business Manager Role Center. And also here we can start with the ribbon at the top. We have the same queues available here in the role centers. If I scroll down, you can see the ongoing sales, purchases queues, but also, for example, links to create new documents. So similarly as in the web client, if I want to use or if I want to create a new sales quote for one of my customers, I can simply click here on the link and start entering the quote. You can see the same chart displayed here at the right side. And if I scroll down, you can also see the same favorite accounts. We have the same self-service queues that I can use to, for example, enter timesheets. And besides the report inbox, we can also see the trial balance here. Now, it's possible to rearrange the components of the role center to add new components and so on. So this is something that we will cover in the module on personalization, but to already give you an idea of other components that we can add here in the role center of the Windows client, I can very easily click here on the application menu, go to customize, and then select customize this page. And here you can see that I can add, for example, an additional chart part, and I can start rearranging here by moving up, moving down the different components, such as activities, self-service, and so on.